Alright, I'm just going to really quickly talk through your loan worksheet. So I'm going to point out keywords now that you're kind of familiar with all of this. So find the monthly payment for a business loan of $20,000 with an annual interest rate of 12.5%, which is taken out for a 10-year term. So monthly payment, loan, you know you're using the M formula because you see monthly payment or loan, both keywords to use the M formula. And then everything you know, right? So I'm not going to walk through everything, but P is your how much you deposit. That's your $20,000. Little I is your rate divided by 12. So your rate as a decimal is 0.125 divided by 12. And then your time in years is 10. And then you dump that on your calculator. If you're not getting this answer, then it's a matter of how you're typing this in your calculator. And again, I start with the innermost division. So that would be this. I divide this on my calculator. And then after that, I add 1. Then I do 1 divided by that answer. I raise it to the 120. I do 1 minus that quantity. Then I take this quotient divided, and in parentheses, that quotient divided by my final denominator. And then lastly, times 20,000. So pause the video and try that, and maybe re-listen to what I just said, and make sure that you can get that, because that's really critical. Okay, number 2 is find the total interest payment for an installment loan. So again, loan, 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 keyword, right? But now you want to find the total interest. So first of all, you find your monthly payment. Okay, you know it's a loan, so you know you're putting everything in. So you know you borrowed $8,000, so you put that in for P. 2.5 years, so you put 2.5 in for time. 8% is your rate, right? So dump all that in, you get $295.11. Well, you're going to pay that monthly for 2.5 years. So if you take that payment times 12 months times 2.5 years, you get this amount of money. Well, then you borrowed $8,000. So if you subtract the $8,000 from that, then you get that answer, and that's called interest, right? Because the bank gave you $8,000, you paid them back this much, so that difference is how much you gave the bank in interest. All right, the problem number 3 is, again, you borrow, so there's the key word, and which is the lesser of the total payments. So you're either going to do 24 months or 18 months, and a 14 or a 16% annual interest. So again, using the monthly payment, you know your principal is the $3,000, so you put that in. And then you put in the 2 interest rates, so 14% for one, 16% for the other. And then the different yearly amounts. So 24 months, be careful, is 2 years. 18 months is 1.5 years. And then you can see that option 1 is this, option 2 is that. So the lesser total payment would be option 2. And sorry, one other thing I should clarify is with this one, you're going to get a monthly payment. Make sure you take that times the 24 months. You should get that. Take this monthly payment times the 18 months, and you should get that, and you'll still see that that's lesser total payment, right? Because it wanted lesser total payment. All right, then the last problem is you're going to buy a new car and have decided you can afford a monthly payment. So again, keyword is monthly payment, so you're going to use the M formula. And then everything else you know. So you can afford a monthly payment of $250, so that's what goes in for M, so be careful, that's not your P. Your interest rate is 5 7/8%, so as a decimal that's 0.05875 divided by 12 since it's monthly. You're going to do this for 4 years, so your time is 4. And again, you dump all of this in your calculator and then take 250 divided by that, and you should get how much you can afford, and that's about $10,600. So again, when you type this all into your calculator, start with the innermost fraction, and then from there, you'd add 1, then 1 divided by that, raise it to the 48, 1 minus that, then you take your numerator in parentheses, divided by that entire denominator, then you divide that from 250. You should get that answer.